Get off HOA property, now. That's what this woman is screaming in my face while she's standing in my driveway on my grass. In front of the front door, I just finished paying closing costs on. Like, she's the sheriff, and I'm the intruder. And I'm standing there, calm with my phone recording, while a detective from the county cuffs her for impersonating an officer and forging county documents, and she's still yelling that I'm the criminal, like I'm trespassing on my own porch. And I remember thinking in that exact second, yeah, okay, that's how this ends. But you're probably going to want to hear how we got here, because it didn't start with handcuffs. It started with a knock. My name is Alex Carter. I just moved into this 2-story place in Westbrook County. Quiet street, decent yard. 6-foot fence, nothing crazy. I'm not rich. I just wanted something that was mine. And here's the important part. The whole reason I picked this lot in the first place. It sits outside the Lakeside Ridge HOA line, like 40-something feet outside of it, according to the county parcel map, which means no dues, no paint color, approval, no, your trash can is visible for 18 minutes on collection day. So that'll be $200. None of that. I was proud of that. I kept telling my buddies I beat the system. I found the loophole. You know what I mean. And I thought that meant peace. I thought I outsmarted the drama. And then I met her. First Saturday. I'm there. I'm still half living out of boxes. I don't even know which switch turns on the porch light yet. I'm in old sweats, and I hear this pounding at the door. Not a neighbor knock. Not, hey, welcome to the block. It was bam, 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 like a warrant. And when I cracked the door, latch still on. Because where I grew up, you don't throw your door open just because somebody sounds official. She's already talking, not introducing herself, not asking my name. Just, you're in violation of Section 8.4C of Lakeside Ridge Covenant Standards. That's the first line this woman says to me. No joke, clipboard in her hand, like it's a badge, 3 people behind her with their arms crossed like backup, like muscle. I tell her calmly, I'm not in the HOA, and she gives me that tight smile, like she's dealt with dumb men before, and I'm just the latest one in line. And she goes, paperwork can be wrong. Most men don't really understand boundary language in title documents. That's why we have community standards. And I'm standing there thinking, wow, we are really doing this straight out of the gate. She holds up her clipboard and starts listing my crimes, like she's reading court charges. My pickup truck is parked in my own driveway. Instead of secured in an enclosed garage, my fence is over regulation height. She says Lakeside Ridge only allows 4 feet, and mine is 6. My mailbox is non-standard installation, and then she hits me with this part like it's supposed to scare me into folding on the spot. Each of those is a $500 per day violation, and if I don't come into compliance by Monday, that's $10 and $500, due immediately, plus escalated enforcement action. She says it smooth, like she's said it 50 times, like people usually break somewhere in the middle of that speech and start crying. I say, show me proof my parcel is even in your HOA. And the smile, I swear you could see it crack in her eyes, even if her mouth stayed cute, because she doesn't hand me a county map. She doesn't hand me anything with an actual seal on it. She hands me these Word doc printouts about community expectations and neighborhood guidelines, with 0 legal markers, 0 parcel ID, nothing that would survive 5 minutes in front of a judge. And when I tell her, yeah, that's not proof of anything, she doesn't answer. She just says, you have 48 hours to register with Lakeside Ridge, or we'll proceed with enforcement. And trust me, the law is on our side. And then, this part made me laugh later. Not in the moment. She turns her back to me on my own porch and starts taking pictures of my truck, my fence, my porch light, like she's building an evidence package on me for the Supreme Court. Here's the honest part of right and then. I was annoyed, not scared, just insulted, like, are you serious? Lady, you really think you can just walk up, declare control, and bill me 5 figures because you don't like my mailbox? But it stopped being funny. 2 days later, Monday morning, 6 a.m. I open the door to grab the paper, and there's a yellow envelope taped to my door with my name in thick black marker, like something from a repo show inside, is a red-stamped, official notice of violation that looks very loud and very legal. If you're half asleep and panicking, it says, I owe $10 $500 in fines, and if I do not pay within 72 hours, they will initiate legal action, including lien and property seizure. And it is signed, Patricia Hale, President, Lakeside Ridge Homeowners Association, which is when I learned Clipboard Lady's name, Patricia Perfect, and the document is covered in references to things like Unified Property Preservation Act 2019 and Residential Community Standards Code 12 4B. And I sit there at my kitchen counter in bare feet and just Google all of it, and none of it exists. Not in county code, not in state code, not anywhere. It's fan fiction with legal font. So now we're not talking about a nosy neighbor anymore. Now we're talking fraud, intimidation, extortion, energy, and I feel something different in my chest. Not fear, not yet. Just something steady and cold that basically says, okay, you picked the wrong person. I call county code enforcement. I read them the notice. The woman on the phone actually sighs like she's heard some version of this before, and she goes, Sir, the county does not tape seizure notices to people's doors at 6 a.m. if someone is pretending to be us. Document it and call the sheriff if they show up again, and she says it in this tired voice like I'm not the first one. Then it gets personal fast. Because by 8 a.m., Patricia has already posted pictures of my house, my truck, my fence, my address, basically in a Facebook group called Lakeside Ridge Community Watch, and the caption says, New resident refuses to follow community standards and is dragging down property values. Some people think they're above the rules that protect all of us, and strangers are in the comments within minutes saying stuff like, people like that ruin neighborhoods, and probably a renter who doesn't care, and that one hit different because you can feel how fast people are ready to paint you as trash when they don't even know your name. You know what I mean. But then, 2 comments stand out, one from this older woman, Evelyn Grant, who says, Is his parcel even in Lakeside Ridge? I thought the boundary ended at Ridgecrest. And that comment gets deleted, gone like it never existed. And another from some account with no profile picture that just says, Patricia did this to the Rodriguezes. They moved, and nobody replies to that one. It's just sitting there like a landmine. So I go knock on Evelyn's door. She's got this neat little blue house with flower boxes and pictures of grandkids and a cat that acts like it owns the couch. And when I tell her what happened, she looks over my shoulder toward the street before she even answers, like she's scared somebody might see her talking to me. And then she tells me the part that honestly made me mad on a different level. According to her, Patricia's been running this play for years. Find someone new or vulnerable. Tell them they're violating community standards. Drown them in fake violation letters and fines. Blast them in the neighborhood group so everyone's already against them. Threaten legal action and property seizure until they either pay or sell and get out, and Evelyn tells me about this family. The Rodriguezes, who bought a place right on the edge of the HOA map. Patricia decided the house was inside jurisdiction, hit them with violations. Every week told everyone they were destroying property values, and after 8 months of harassment, they sold at a loss just to get away. Yeah, that happened, and everybody around here knows it happened. They just don't say it out loud, because Patricia tells everybody she has connections, and the law is on her side. When I walk back to my place with a whole different mindset, because now it's not just about me. Now I'm thinking, you're hunting people and you finally chased the wrong deer. So here's something I hadn't told Patricia at that point. I'm not just some guy with a mortgage and a temper. I'm a fraud investigator. I've spent 10 years picking apart staged car accidents and forged invoices and shady contractors. My literal job is to build timelines that hold up when lawyers start swinging, which means I document everything. And now I'm building a folder with photos of every fake notice screenshots of every Facebook post. Names, timestamps, audio clips, all of it. Because I know how this goes. If you try to wing it, you can't just say, "She bullied me." You have to say, "Here is the pattern. Here are the dates. Here is her exact wording. Here's the law she pretended existed. Here's footage of her trespassing." And you hand that to someone with authority, and you watch the temperature in the room change. And she kept giving me material. She could not help herself. 2 days later, I come home, and my locked gate is wide open, and my stomach just drops. Because I know I closed that gate. And standing in my yard like she pays taxes on my dirt is Patricia's SUV, and she's got 2 guys walking around my fence with tape measures and clipboards and a big camera lens, and she's pointing at my property like she's conducting a raid. And I start recording before I even get out of my truck. "What are you doing on my property?" I ask, calm voice. Steady hands, because I know I'm building evidence now, and she hits me with this. "We're conducting a safety inspection under Lakeside Ridge Authority. Your fencing poses a community risk. This is standard procedure." And one of the guys flashes a badge at me. "Cheap laminate." Says inspector. In block letters. No county seal. No license number. Nothing. And I go, "Cool, I need to see county credentials with license numbers." And Patricia steps in like a TV lawyer and goes, "They're certified inspectors working under HOA authorization. That's all you need to know." And I tell her, "No, here's what you need to know. You're trespassing. You have 60 seconds to leave, or I'm calling the sheriff." And she gives me this tight little smile and raises her phone and talks loud for her video like she's narrating a crime scene. "Everyone hear this. He's being hostile and aggressive. He's threatening us. We're just trying to conduct a lawful inspection, and he's threatening us." And I'm literally standing there with my hands at my sides like I'm in a training video for de-escalation. So I call 911 on speaker in front of her. I explain calmly that I've got multiple people behind my fence claiming to be from the county, refusing to leave, and I'm requesting a deputy. And she doubles down and starts yelling about how I'm refusing compliance with inspection protocol. And the sheriff is already aware, like she's already rehearsed this part. Deputies show up with the detective named Morales, and Patricia flips into soft mode so fast, it's almost impressive. "Thank God you're here. He's threatening us. He's blocking a mandatory code inspection." And Detective Morales just looks at me and goes, "Sir, can you tell me what's happening?" And I don't argue. I don't cut Patricia off. I just hand the detective my phone and say, "Video starts when I pull in. You'll see them already inside my fence. You'll hear Ms. Hale claim county authority. You'll hear me ask for real ID. You'll hear me ask them to leave." And Morales watches it, and her face doesn't move, but I can feel the shift in the air. Then I show her the 6 a.m. notice of property seizure. Patricia taped to my door, big red letters. Fake county seal signed by someone calling herself Director of Code Enforcement, a person who does not exist in Westbrook County, by the way I already checked. And I play the voicemail from County Code Enforcement, where they literally say, "That is fake. We do not do that." And the detective turns to Patricia and says, "Ma'am, do you have county credentials?" And Patricia pulls out this plastic ID like she's FBI, and Morales doesn't even touch it. She just says, "This isn't a county badge. Where did you get this?" And Patricia says, "Regional Compliance issued it last month." And Morales just deadpans, "There's no Regional Compliance office in Westbrook County." And I could actually see something change in Patricia's posture, like, this is not like the last time this one isn't folding. And then it gets beautiful. The HOA's own lawyer shows up. I didn't even know he was coming. And this man looks tired in his soul, and he hands the detective an envelope and says, "I'm counsel for Lakeside Ridge HOA, or I was. Until this morning when I resigned, here are copies of my emails to Ms. Hale, advising her that Mr. Carter's property is not inside HOA jurisdiction, and that any enforcement action would be illegal." She proceeded anyway. "I'm here voluntarily." And Patricia spins on him like he set her up. "You said we had options." And he goes, "I said you had no jurisdiction." And the whole street is so quiet, you can hear somebody's wind chimes a house and a half away. At that point, I tell Detective Morales what I actually do for a living. I hand her my card, Certified Fraud Investigator, and I tell her I have a 47-page file with timestamp screenshots of her smearing me in the Facebook group video of her trespassing copies of every fake notice, plus a financial summary that shows how Patricia bragged about collecting almost $90,000 in violation penalties for non-compliance. But Lakeside Ridge only reported about $12,000 in fines in their public filings. And Morales turns and asks Patricia the calmest question I've ever heard in my life. "Ms. Hale, how much of that difference went into your personal accounts?" And Patricia just stops finally. And Morales says, "Ma'am, turn around and put your hands behind your back, and right there in my driveway," the same driveway she said was HOA property. 2 days before Patricia Hale, self-declared Queen of Lakeside Ridge, defender of home values and community standards, goes into handcuffs for impersonating a public official and forging government documents, and she's screaming, "You can't do this. He's the criminal. I'm the president. This is HOA property." While her husband is standing on the curb, looking 20 years older than he did last week, whispering, "Patricia, I told you to stop." And I'm just standing there, holding my phone steady. Heart finally slowing down for the first time in days. Thinking to myself, I didn't threaten you, I didn't touch you, I just documented you, and that was enough. Now here's where I leave it with you, because people argue about this part, and I want to hear it for real. In the comments, some people say HOAs keep neighborhoods clean, protect property values, keep people from painting their house neon orange, or parking 5 junk cars on the lawn. And I get that. I do, but at what point does protecting the neighborhood turn into, "I can threaten to take your house if you don't obey me, even if you don't legally answer to me"? Where's that line? Because this woman wasn't trying to keep the grass short. She was trying to control people, scare them, bleed them. And the only reason it didn't work this time is because somebody with paperwork skills finally told her no and made it stick. So tell me what you think. So tell me what? Am I the problem for pushing back and getting her arrested? Or was I supposed to just pay the fake fines and keep the peace for the sake of the neighborhood? And also, have you seen anything like this where you live? Because I really want to know how common this is. Drop it below.